And I did mention that what is happening in the country, everybody talks about River State on television, and some of these are the issues we discuss. We are talking about building a society where no one is oppressed, as reflected in the top paragraph of our national anthem. As a former president and also from the Niger Delta, when the issue of suspending the governor came up, I think people called on me, oh, President Jonathan, oh, President Obasanjo, you should say something. People expected us to say something about what is happening. And of course, people don't even know that traditionally all over the world, former presidents hardly make statements about what the current presidents are doing because of the tension it could create in the country. In most cases, look at America, look at everywhere. So hardly for former presidents to make, sometimes you see and you believe. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in River State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, luckily Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do. But they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. The clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in a country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament, judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where a government functionary can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that economy because we are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we must build a nation for our children and our grandchildren, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must endeavor and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you're holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a special advisor, or executive, whether you're holding an office in the parliament, senate, or rep, whether you're a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right. If we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of. As we engage in these discussions, let us remember that promoting social change is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It requires a sustained commitment, collective action, and unwavering dedication to the values that promote good governance. Let us also recognize that social change is a shared responsibility, one that requires the active participation and engagement of all stakeholders, including civil society, the private sector, and governments. In conclusion, I want to again express my gratitude to the Haskell Satumari Foundation for convening this colloquium, and I appreciate all of you, especially a sister who came all the way from Kenya, as she has been introduced. if you are ticking the boxes for people that are supposed to be here, see, fill all the gaps. Thank you for coming. And thank you from what you told me yesterday, said that Nigeria is the first West African country you have visited. So you are welcome. And I hope you will enjoy Abuja, and we'll listen to you and we'll listen to all others. So I thank you very much.
If there isn't, I should say, if there aren't validities to the demands of Nnamdi or his grievances, there will be no currency to his words. But he speaks clearly, speaking the mind and the grievances and the pains of the people. To ignore what he is saying will be stupid. He is the one who has embraced the use of the language that the Nigerian state understands. But he is not the only person who is aggrieved in Nala Igbo. Killing Nnamdi today, there are 1,000 waiting to take his place. Because the reality is that he is not speaking to his personal pain. He is speaking to the pains of a people.
Is what 160 million naira each were shared amongst 469. That is a total of 75 billion naira. Then some governors used 3.7 billion to buy perfumes and rechargeable fans, while some others used 1.5 billion to buy just 2 Hilux vans, even though they later claimed it was an error. Meanwhile, there were news that some ranking senators got 500 million naira each.
Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get.
Also, 3.7 trillion was said to have been used for budget padding. All these occurred within a year period, and since Nigerians did nothing about it, our rulers got more emboldened, and they went further to budget 212 billion naira for just 1,150 street lights. That is 184 million naira for one street light, and I'm not even kidding. Now, if you do a little research, you will find out that a 600 watts solar street light plus a free pole goes for less than 40,000 naira. And this is just for a single unit. If we are buying 212 billion naira worth, we would go directly to the manufacturing plant and make our order, and it will be way cheaper. But let's just assume we are getting it at 40,000 naira per street light. With 212 billion naira, we'll be able to procure 5.3 million units of solar street lights. Now imagine the amount or the part of the country that would light up. Let's go further. There are 42 million households in Nigeria, and if we are getting 5.3 million street lights in a year in 2024, in 8 years we would get enough street lights, over 40 million street lights, to cover each household. That is a street light in front of every household. While our elected officials were looting us dry without conscience, 287 children were kidnapped in Kaduna earlier this month, and 15 students were kidnapped in Sokoto. A few days ago, another 87 children were kidnapped again in Kaduna, all these occurring in the month of March. In fact, according to reports, about 3,500 Nigerians have been abducted across the country just in the past 1 year. Let's go back to the title of this video. To be broken means to have given up all hope. During the time of slavery, when a master gets a new slave and he rebels, he is beaten until he is broken, he gives up all hope of escape, and he becomes obedient. All he does is obey. This is what it means to be broken, because the spirit, the will is broken. Hope is lost. Nigerians have reached a point where they have given up hope in themselves. Sometimes they may look to God for help, but they do not believe that they can turn things around.